The rain was coming down hard, blurring the neon lights of the city into a watercolor painting. I pulled my coat tighter, feeling the damp chill as I hurried to the subway. Another shift at the Gilded Quill Hotel was over, leaving me with sore feet and a few bills in my pocket. As I passed the grand entrance, something stopped me. A little girl, maybe 4 years old, was standing all alone under the awning. Her fancy velvet coat was soaked, but she wasn't crying. She was just staring into the rain with this look of deep sadness that seemed way too old for her. I knew who she was. The whole staff knew about Mr. Thorne, the tech billionaire in the penthouse, and his quiet daughter. Maya, I should have just kept walking. Getting involved with a guest, especially the ** guest, was a fast track to getting fired. But I couldn't. Seeing her there, so small and lost, I just couldn't leave. Hey, I said softly, crouching down to her level. It's really coming down out there, huh? She just looked at me with these big, wary blue eyes. Are you waiting for someone? I asked. She shook her head and a single tear finally escaped, rolling down her cheek. I dug around in my bag and found my lucky charm, a smooth gray river stone. Here, I said, placing it in her tiny, cold hand. It's a brave stone. It helps when you're feeling a little lost. She closed her fingers around it, her eyes still locked on mine. Eleanor, a voice snapped. I jumped up, seeing stars. It was Mr. Thorne. He was taller than I'd imagined, and his presence just sucked all the warmth out of the air. A bodyguard stood a few steps behind him. Sir, I'm so sorry, I just saw she was alone, I stammered. He ignored me completely, his gaze fixed on his daughter. Maya, what have I told you about wandering off? His voice was quieter now, but even more intense. Maya didn't answer, just clutched the stone tighter. His icy gray eyes flicked back to me, then down to my Nama tag. Elara, he read. You work in housekeeping. It wasn't a question. Yes, sir. He just studied me for a long, uncomfortable moment, taking in my cheap coat and tired eyes. You gave her something. I swallowed hard. It's just a stone, sir. A lucky one. He knelt down and gently pried open Maya's hand. He looked at the ordinary little stone, then back at my face. Something I couldn't read flickered in his eyes. Come, Maya, he said, sweeping her up into his arms. He started to walk away, then paused. Without turning around, he said, Don't go far, Miss Elara. An hour later, just as I was clocking out, the head of security found me. Mr. Thorne wants to see you, in the penthouse. My blood ran cold. This was it. I was so getting fired. The elevator ride up felt like an eternity. The doors opened directly into this huge, minimalist living room with giant windows overlooking the stormy city. Mr. Thorne was standing by the window, a lone figure against the skyline. Maya was asleep on a big sofa, the river stone still clutched in her hand. Miss Elara, he began, his voice echoing in the vast room. Maya hasn't spoken a word to anyone, including her therapist. Since her mother passed away 6 months ago, I was frozen. I had no idea what to say. Tonight, he continued, finally turning to face me. She told me about the lady with the kind eyes and the brave stone. He looked at me. Who are you? No one, sir. Just a maid. I disagree. He walked towards me, his steps silent on the polished floor. I've had 6 nannies in 6 months. All with perfect credentials. None of them could reach her. You did it with a piece of the ground. He stopped right in front of me. I'm offering you a position. You will live here. You will be Maya's companion. Your salary will be 5 times what you make now. You will want for nothing. The world tilted on its axis. Mr. Thorne, I can't. This is too much. Elara Vance, he said, his voice soft but firm. 26. Dropped out of college to care for your sick grandmother. Buried her 3 months ago. You're drowning in medical debt and living in a hostel. You have no one. His eyes held mine. And neither does my daughter. His words should have made me angry, but they didn't. They just laid the truth bare. He was right. We were both just adrift. 1 week, I whispered, my voice shaking. Let me spend a week with her. Then I'll decide. A tiny, almost invisible smile touched his lips. As you wish. That week changed everything. I learned his first name was Cassian. I learned that Maya loved building huge block castles but would smash them if anyone watched her. I learned her silence was a fortress she built around herself, and somehow I'd been given a key. In the evenings after Maya was asleep, Cassian and I would talk. At first, it was about her, but soon we were talking about books, philosophy, and the grief we both carried. I started to see the real man under the billionaire exterior, a man haunted by loss, desperately trying to reconnect with his daughter. One evening, we were standing on the terrace, the city lights twinkling below us. "She drew a picture today," he said quietly. "Of the three of us?" My heart skipped a beat. "Cassian," I began, "I know this is unconventional," he said, turning to me. "But I don't believe in coincidence. You walked into our lives for a reason." He gently brushed a strand of hair from my face. "You've brought color back into this apartment, back into my daughter's life, back into mine." His kiss wasn't a question. It was a confession, filled with all the loneliness and hope he kept hidden from the world. I didn't accept the job that night. I accepted a whole new life. Months flew by. Cassian started stepping away from the ruthless parts of his business, focusing more on charity work. Our cold, modern penthouse became a warm, lived-in home, filled with Maya's laughter and my art projects scattered everywhere. On the anniversary of the day we met, Cassian led me up to the hotel's rooftop garden. It was filled with flowers and fairy lights. Maya was there, beaming, holding a small velvet box. Cassian got down on one knee, not as a powerful billionaire, but just as a man in love. "Elara, you saved us. You taught us how to live again. Be my wife." As I said yes, Maya cheered and threw her arms around both of us. Her voice, now so clear and bright, said the words that sealed our future. My family. We got married right there in that garden. The tech mogul who once ruled boardrooms now spent his nights reading bedtime stories. And me, the maid who started with nothing but a lucky stone, I found a treasure greater than any fortune. We hadn't just built a family, we had built a home. Thank you so much for watching our story unfold. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and consider subscribing for more. See you next time.